I've been selling since I was probably 10 years old, and I've had lots of sales careers, a couple of startups, which I've both sold. And then I got interested in this whole notion around sales performance and what really makes sales professionals tick and what makes sales managers create high-performing sales teams. And over the last 20 years, literally, I've been studying and observing the performance of the best in the world. And along the way, we've picked up what works and what doesn't. My name is Walter Rogers, CEO of CloudCoaching International, the owners of the award-winning service, Coaching in the Cloud. CloudCoaching International is a global sales transformation firm with locations in over 20 countries, covering more than 10 languages. Every single company today is focused on top-line growth, and the best way to get to that top-line growth is to change the performance of the sales team, and the best way to change the performance of the sales team is to change the performance of the sales manager. It's a little known fact that 70% of the time when a sales rep leaves is because they have a poor relationship with their manager. 70% of the time. Changing the culture around how managers think about the development of their employees, whether they're sales professionals or any other type of professional, not only improves the performance of that individual, but it also lowers your churn rate on your staff. Every time you lose a sales professional and you have to replace them with a new one, it costs you $1 million. So imagine the impact of lowering your churn rate by any percentage point. Every sales rep you save $1 million in productivity. And it all begins and ends with how that manager works, relates with, coaches, develops, trains, motivates their staff. And most managers should spend anywhere from 25 to 50% of their time really coaching their staff. They don't. Most managers don't. We are shocked even today. We go into organizations and we find managers that don't even have regular cadence calls with their team. They don't have one-on-one meetings. They don't have a schedule for team meetings. It's all kind of ad hoc. So with the exception of providing that forecast up, the rest of it is left at the discretion of the manager, and that does not produce good results. Even the most successful organizations out there today, in those companies, 25% of employees aren't even sure what their goals are and what the strategic objectives of the company are. How can you possibly execute any strategy if people don't understand what the strategy is? Positive feedback is great because it reinforces what worked. But people really learn from constructive feedback much more so than positive feedback. It's when you fail that you learn the most, not when you win. And the role of the manager is to give both positive and constructive feedback. Now, you should always begin feedback with the positive first before moving into the constructive. And there's a structured process for how you go through that feedback. And managers ought to do that one-on-one conversation with their reps at least once a week. Honestly, it's their role and responsibility to help these reps develop their skills, perform at higher levels. And that comes from observation, and it comes from consistent and predictable feedback, both positive and constructive. Over time, it becomes part of the culture to give and receive feedback. Giving the ability to praise, recognize, give non-financial rewards, which could be, my gosh, giving somebody the opportunity to present in front of an executive committee because they've done such a fabulous job, or giving somebody the opportunity to go to a special conference that maybe other people don't get to go to, or giving badges, right? Little things like that will make a huge difference. You can't forget the money, but the other recognition gives you the extra sizzle to get people more motivation to perform. Work.com is an absolute game changer. It allows an organization to align itself against very specific objectives, measure the outcome of those objectives, and then achieve those objectives in a pattern, and continually adjust and adjust and adjust as the strategy is executed until those objectives are met. Work.com allows you to do that by publishing your goals, cascading them down through the organization, aligning everybody against a very specific set of goals, adjusting those goals as market conditions change, give you the ability to stay on track and on target.